kind of loud. Turn this down a bit. I feel.
Hey, yo, what's good, Mark? Hey, you remember Meals?
From,
Samoa Raider?
was it,
YouTube content creator?
oh man, I'm losing it. Which college?
Oh, hell, come on, Oos. Anywho, question for Josh. Be honest, when you think about the Raiders, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, I mean, you lose a lot more games than you win.
What the fuck? Hey, you know what? I fucks with you heavy though, Josh, man. You ain't lying, man. We do lose a lot more than we actually win. That's why we brought you in, right?
Take that first.
That's why we brought you in. So you better win some games.
Oh boy.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
So some breaking news just came out while I was editing this video. Shout out to my guy Raider Scout. If you ain't following him, go and follow my guy. The Raiders made a huge acquisition by hiring former Bears assistant director of player personnel Champ Kelly as the assistant GM. Kelly was huge in the drafting of Roquan Smith, Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, Tariq Cohen, and Justin Field, along with acquisitions like Robert Quinn, Khalil Mack, and Allen Robinson. This is obviously a huge W for our Raiders organization, now having Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, and a guy like Champ Kelly up in the office, man. I feel like the future of the Raiders should be in good hands. So, like I said, I'm excited about this move. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this acquisition down in the comments below. Yo, what is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Samoa back at it again with another video. Now, before we start talking about this presser, I got some quick nation news that you can use. New head coach Josh McDaniels will interview every Raiders assistant coach before making staff decisions, including Gus Bradley, Rich Bisaccia, and Ron Miles. Gus Bradley has already interviewed with the Colts for their DC position, and Rich Bisaccia has already interviewed with the Jags for their head coaching job. One guy that won't be getting an interview is Tom Cable. Reports are going around that the Raiders will not be bringing back offensive line coach Tom Cable. Now, I would give him credit for his development on Miller and James, but damn, this dude couldn't adjust for shit. But with that being said, who is a coordinator that you guys would want to bring back to the Raiders in 2022? Let me know down in the comments below. So Mark Davis started off this press conference talking about the ups and the downs of the 2021 season, saying that the hiring of or making Rich Bisaccia the interim head coach of the team was made because they didn't want to cause any distractions if they were to go and make Gus Bradley or Tom Cable the interim head coach. Once John Gruden did step down, they already had a plan and put together a list of head coaching candidates and wouldn't start their search until they lost in the playoffs. And once they did, the first person that came in for an interview was our former interim head coach, Rich Bisaccia. Obviously, Bisaccia wasn't the guy that Mark Davis wanted, and Josh McDaniels was named the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. But you know what's always funny to me is that whenever we go out and sign somebody or even hire somebody and they come to this team, the first thing they always say is that they love this opportunity from this team and they love the rich history and tradition of the Raiders. And then they go on to quote some of our mottos like "just win, baby," the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, or commitments to excellence, you know, so on and so forth.
You know, I thank Mr. Davis again for having the faith in me to lead this team as the head coach. And I know that the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, and I can't wait to get started.
But hey, I got to give it to them because I know that they got to go out there and find a way to please the Raider Nation and also kiss ass. Now, Mark Davis did want to let the nation know before they took any questions that Josh McDaniels has finally crossed over to the dark side, basically admitting that it was a fumble.
We met in the hallway as we were passing. It was before the interview process was going to start. And I said, hey, I introduced myself and everything. And he looked me in the eye and he said, there's one thing. It was a fumble. So Raider Nation, if you're worried, he's already come over to the dark side.
Now we know as a nation, we knew that was a fumble and no one else wanted to admit it, especially anybody from the Patriots. But them coming over here and actually admitting it basically proves our point. Now let's talk about Dave Ziegler. This is a guy that I really was excited about bringing in. Obviously, Dodds was my #1 guy, but Ziegler was just right there as well. Josh McDaniels wasn't the guy that I wanted here, as well as the rest of the Raider Nation. But the pairing of him and Dave Ziegler, I feel like both of them can do something really great over here, as long as they don't fuck up. I mean, that's with anybody else. But Dave Ziegler just has that football mind that you could just trust. And him throughout this whole presser, I was really impressed with. And one thing that he brought up was that all the final decisions that will be made will be by him.
Josh and I are tied in many ways in our vision of how to build a team and our vision of what we want. But at the end of the day, when it's time to make decisions on personnel, while we'll work together, those final decisions will be made by me.
Now, Mark Davis brought up a great point when he talked about Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler's stint over there in New England, and the fact that they were able to adjust to any type of situation and still be successful. No matter if it was Tom Brady, Matt Castle, or Mac Jones, the Patriots were still able to find a way to be successful, and that's something that we definitely need here in Las Vegas. No matter who we have at quarterback, whether it's Derek Carr or anybody else, we got to find ways to be successful.
The success of the Patriots and watching them over the years, I've seen them do it with Tom Brady, of course, the greatest of all time, and then I saw it with Matt Castle. I saw him be able to win with him and make Matt Castle the hottest free agent commodity in the market. Then I saw him do it this year with a rookie quarterback.
And it's been tough because we have not been a successful organization for a very, very long time. So hopefully they could bring that here. And something that Ziegler did bring up as well, a great point that I liked hearing from him, was when building a team, it's not about acquiring talent. It's about acquiring talent and putting them in right spots to succeed.
When you're building a team, it's not just about acquiring talent. It's about acquiring talent and putting talent in the right spots, but it's also about building a roster from top to bottom that is competitive, that competes every day, that has depth, and having the right people in the right spots, in the right roles, are a couple other key elements to what we believe in and how we're going to build it.
My goodness, and he hit it right on the nail, and that's definitely something to build on as an organization. It doesn't matter if we have the flashiest names, the Devontae Adams, the Aaron Donalds or whatnot. It's getting the right players, putting them in the right positions to go out there and succeed. And you look at the Patriot way, they never overpay for any of their star players. They let them walk and go get the bag. And what actually happens, they never go out and live up to that contract. Now, talking about the most controversial player on the Raiders team, our quarterback, Derek Carr, there was some questions asked here and there, and I know Hondo Carpenter tried to be slick during this presser and try to ask Josh McDaniels a question, trying to throw in, hey, what do you think about us having a top 5 quarterback? Basically, talk about Derek Carr. Now, I love Derek Carr, but Hondo, man, come on, Oos!
But you also get a top 5 quarterback.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
McDaniels did answer this question saying that he believes that this team has the capability and capacity to win with DC. And I feel like we do, as long as we put all the right pieces around him. And I do respect Ziegler for going out there on his stance on Derek Carr's situation, basically saying that him and McDaniels will take some time to evaluate the situation and that they will want to get to know him first and build that relationship, then see how everything fits together in their plans. Now, that's a great answer because it's not really saying that he's going to stick with Derek Carr, but it's not saying that he's going to move on from Derek Carr. It's just he wants to see where he's at with him. He wants to build that relationship first before making any type of decisions, and I can respect that wholeheartedly. Now, I do understand that the nation are all wondering whether or not Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler are going to keep Derek Carr as the quarterback of the future. And with all the trade rumors here and there, all the assets that we could get for Derek Carr moving forward, we could go get a young quarterback, yada, yada, yada. I do think wholeheartedly that they are going to stick with Derek Carr, and Derek Carr is going to be our quarterback going into 2022. And I do feel like Derek Carr was one of the reasons why they probably wanted to come over here in the first place. Now, we did have a surprise appearance in the press conference. My boy Khalil Mack came back for a day just to question our new coach and new GM. Okay, I'm just fucking with you guys. That's my boy Levi Edwards, man. Shout out to him. He does a lot of great work for the Raider Nation. But he did ask a great question to Josh McDaniels on how he evolved since his Denver days, coming into this second head coaching position. And I know that Josh McDaniels did talk about his stint in Denver, and he learned a lot since that time, basically saying that he knew a little bit of football at the time and that he knew a little bit about people. Now, that's something that he definitely needs to make sure he learns, because coming into this locker room, he really needs to win them over, because Rich Bisaccia was a guy that this whole team loved. All the players loved him. He was a player's coach because Rich Bisaccia, even though he didn't have experience, he had a lot of relationships with a lot of these players. So before McDaniels could even think about winning on the field, he first needs to go out there and win in the locker room. Back in Denver, man, he lost that relationship with Jay Cutler because Cutler found out that McDaniels wanted to trade for Matt Castle, which, you know, ruined that relationship, and then ended up in Jay Cutler being traded to the Chicago Bears. Champ Bailey also turned on him as well. And he also got caught for cheating, which led to his firing. And now for his second stint around, I do hope that he learned a lot from that first experience, because we're going to need a guy that's going to lead us to the promised land. And if Josh McDaniels wants to be that guy, he definitely got to build that relationship with a lot of these players. I do give my boy Marky Mark some credit for owning up to his mistakes in the past and wanting to move forward and making his own decisions, not listening to anybody else but himself, and getting the guys that he wanted to bring in to this organization, which is why he went out and hired a guy like Reggie McKenzie, you know, because he just let him do whatever he wanted to do, hire his own guys. Obviously that did not work with Dennis Allen and Jack Del Rio, and then this whole John Gruden and Mike Mayock stint did not work out, obviously, with all the emails and stuff, and John Gruden being fired did not help out as well. But he did admit that they built a foundation, brought all the pieces here to build on. You know, Rich Bisaccia was the guy that got brought on and built a culture and a relationship with all of these players. And he said that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, their task now is to take this team to the next level and take us to a position that we haven't been in a long time.
And that it's not a rebuild, it's not a reload, it's just taking this to the next level and getting to that Super Bowl and winning some championships.
All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today on this video. Let me know what you guys think about the whole press conference. What are your thoughts on Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if this is the first time you come across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoffs. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the lay.